The first war crimes trial of Syria's post-Assad era has begun. 14 suspects, 1,426 civilians killed, and a system of impunity finally dragged into court. Aleppo is now the arena where a new government must prove it can judge its own killers. Is this Syria's first real test of justice? The trial of 14 suspects linked to massacres in Syria's Alawite coastal heartland has begun in Aleppo, marking a significant step towards accountability. The massacres in March, which authorities say broke out after attacks by supporters of ousted President Bashar al-Assad against their forces, resulted in the deaths of at least 1,400 people, mostly civilians, according to a National Commission of Inquiry. The defendants, including 7 men accused of attacking government forces and 7 members of forces loyal to the new Islamist authorities, appeared in court on November 18th. The supporters of ousted President Bashar al-Assad are being prosecuted for sedition, incitement to civil war, attacks against law enforcement, murder, looting, and vandalism, while the 7 accused from government forces face charges of premeditated murder. The trial is seen as a test of President Ahmed Al-Sharaa's promise of accountability. The next hearing for the supporters of Assad's ousted regime is set for December 18th, and for the members of government forces on December 25th. According to the National Commission of Inquiry, the massacres broke out after attacks by supporters of ousted President Bashar al-Assad against their forces. The commission has verified serious violations leading to the deaths of mostly civilians and identified 298 suspects. It claimed 238 members of the security forces and army had been killed in attacks attributed to Assad's supporters. Syrian and international monitoring groups reported sectarian massacres, in which entire families were killed by government forces, armed groups allied with the government, and armed volunteers, including summary executions. Mohammed al-Abdallah, a Syrian lawyer, said,
"One of the first steps a society starts with, after a state was prevailed by corruption, is establishing a legal framework. This leads to love of citizenship. It ensures that no violations are committed against the Syrian people, and this step strengthens the people's trust in the Syrian judiciary. It applies to all parties, and all those who have committed any violations against the Syrian people from all sides."
The trial is a significant development in the efforts to bring accountability to Syria, where violence has raged for years. The international community has been watching the situation closely, and this trial is seen as a crucial step towards justice for the victims and their families. The prosecutor general has pressed charges against around 300 people linked to armed factions affiliated with the army, and around 265 who belong to Assad-era paramilitary groups, according to Juma al-Anzi, head of a fact-finding committee appointed by Sharaa. The trial is expected to be a lengthy process, with the next hearing scheduled for December 18th and 25. The outcome of the trial is eagerly awaited by the people of Syria, who have suffered greatly due to the violence and conflict. As the trial began, it marked a glimmer of hope for justice and accountability in a country that has been plagued by violence and impunity for far too long. The world is watching, and the people of Syria are hoping that this trial will be a step towards a brighter future for their country. The Aleppo Court of Justice, where the trial is taking place, has been the scene of intense security measures, with heavily armed guards and checkpoints in place to ensure the safety of the defendants, lawyers, and judges. As the trial continues, it is expected to shed more light on the events that led to the massacres and the role of various groups and individuals involved. The outcome of the trial will be crucial in determining the course of justice and accountability in Syria.